All right, we are live. Think the lighting is a little dark. Let's see. Oh, that's not so good. Okay, this is better. I don't have a tech team, so we'll do our best. We'll do our best. All right. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. If you're having a wonderful day, I'm going to amplify the energy for you by sending you lots of love, lots of light, rainbow and sparkles. And if you're having a down day today, I'm also going to send you lots of love and come into this vortex with us and giggle with me, have some fun. Let's talk to each other. So I'm live here today because I wanted to talk about something really interesting. And I think a lot of us want to talk about it. There's not a lot of places to share these topics sometimes, but it's about the next level or the next layer of our communication with others and to the world. And please feel free to join in the live chat to share your experiences or your stories or in the comment section as well. I do try to read all of them and comment on all of them as I can. If I didn't, I'll probably just missed it by accident. But speak your truth, share your story. Today it's a hangout time with fellow light workers. Hi everyone. Hi Sita. Hi Sevi, Joyce, Mystic. Hi Dyla. Hi Malik and KM. Welcome everybody. So I wrote down some notes over here, and today we want to explore this topic of our ascension abilities to communicate with each other through dreams and through telepathic communication. Have you been noticing that in your dreams they are becoming more vivid? Have you noticed that with people that you're really close to, maybe your children or your pet or your partner or even a really close friend, you're able to communicate telepathically, like you want to call them and then they will call you? Or if you're thinking about you need something and your partner come home with the item that you've been wanting to or get, things like that. Or have you been noticing your sensory perception has been changing? Your eyes are seeing more colors, or maybe your eyes are now perceiving even fairies or orbs. Maybe you are hearing more from your spirit guides. The way that you're perceiving the world and with other people are shifting, are changing. It's like these veil being lifted from our sensory perception. We are being able to communicate with each other in a more, I want to say 4D or 5D way instead of linear language. Hi, how are you? We're communicating through telepathy, through our dream, and of course, always through energy. But we're becoming more aware or sensitive or more conscious with these type of energetic interactions. So let me know as well. Oh, my telepathy is off the chart. Yes, having people in your dreams, absolutely. And maybe if you are a healer or maybe a practitioner or even a teacher, sometimes when you have a session with a client, the day before, you get a dream. And it's almost like you already worked with each other in the etheric realm. And because the physical is so dense, it's catching up in the session itself. You'll be like, I feel like we've done work in the etheric realm already. Or sometimes it happens afterwards. So I get this a lot in my practice when I'm like, I feel like in this one session, we've done so much work. And I get this feedback from clients and students as well. They're like, I feel like we made a quantum jump, or I feel like this 1 hour session is like 2 hours long. So we both feel it, feel this shift happening. So I wanted to share just some stories. I want to hear from you guys too. Like, have you been communicating with others beyond the linear language itself? And number one, this experience I have is towards spiritual teachers. And I know some of you have shared with me too sometimes, like, Tiffany, I saw you in my dream and you were coaching me or you were talking to me, and I feel more grounded now. So sometimes when we connect with our spiritual guide or mentor teacher, they can connect with us through dream time. And this already has been documented even from Buddha, his experience. I remember Buddha, he had an experience with one of his teacher. When he met him, he just sat down in front of him and he just meditated. And he met the teacher in the ethereal realm, and that's when the teachings happen. So on the physical plane, they just look like they're meditating with each other, but on the higher plane, they have these energy exchange of lessons and wisdom happening in the higher plane. And so the same thing happened to me with one of my spiritual teacher. I was in training with her for a few days. It's like a retreat. And it was the very, very beginning of my awakening. So many years ago. And I was struggling. I was really afraid to hold space for a client. And it was like my very first training. So I was a little afraid and I was really struggling. And she's like, if you don't allow yourself to get to that point where you can hold space for people, I can't pass you. And I'm like, uh-oh. Okay. So that night I got a dream and I see her talking to me in my dream. I couldn't remember exactly each word, but I just saw her and she's talking to me. And the next day when I woke up, I just felt a little different. And when I sat down in the practice session, all of a sudden I was more open. I was more grounded in my power. I was able to hold space for the person. It still felt a little wobbly, but I was more grounded. And I passed. So that's my story with spiritual teachers. And in my courses, the light language course, the light codes course that we just started, the Priestess Academy that I have, sometimes students will come to me and say, yeah, I'm struggling, but then I had a dream about you. And then the next day I feel a lot better. So I'm like, oh, this happens to all of us. It's so cool, but not enough of us talk about it. You're not going to find these stuff in mainstream media. So here we are on YouTube, like talking about it. And I see lots of people are sharing as well. All of you have a lot of experience like this. Your spiritual teacher connecting with you through dreams, that really is really beautiful. And another dream I had recently was my friend. She's also a channeler. And I don't name names in my videos because I don't know if I can. It's like privacy matter with the other person. So I just not mention name. But there's my other friend. She is writing a book, and I've shared her book in my other video before. And she came to my dream and she showed me the symbol that she channeled about the Seraphims. And at the same time, I was channeling and downloading the Light Codes course that I just started teaching. And so we were both on the same path working with the seraphim, with the angelic energy. And I emailed her the next day. I'm like, I saw you in my dream yesterday and you showed me the symbol. It looks like this. Does it sound familiar? And then she replied back with that picture that she channeled herself. And she's like, does it look like this? I'm like, yeah, that's what it looks like. So you will also find this next level of communication if you have light workers or teammates that is on the same path, on the same wavelength as you, communicating with each other. It's like on the etheric realm, your higher selves are working with each other and saying, hey, let's do this, let's manifest this into this world. So you might be finding that as well. And I feel this can cross into twin flames too. A lot of you guys that are in the journey of finding your own twin flame, and then also your divine counterpart on the physical realm, you might have dreams about your twin flame. And I remember when I was struggling a lot with dating and just one after another, and I was healing myself. We've all gone through those paths, haven't we? And I just said, enough. Higher self, am I really here supposed to like have a divine mission with a partner? Like, I'm in so much pain and all these breakups and all these experiences. I'm healing myself with shadow work, inner child work, but I need to know that I have a divine counterpart. Why do I have this desire to find this person? Why can't I just live my life as a strong, independent woman? Why do I get this urge to find this person? So in like a dreamy and meditation state, I saw like these white clouds and then the silhouette of my 2B twin flame. And I saw that he has muscles and I'm like, okay. I saw that he has dark hair, and that was all that was revealed to me. I just saw his silhouette and his dark hair. And the recent breakup that I had with a boyfriend, he was blonde. So I'm like, okay. So I knew there was someone out there for me through this dream communication with my higher self. And I think indirectly with my twin flame too. Because after we met, we got signs. Like we did a reading with the yoga teacher that brought us together in its class. That's where I met him. But the first card that came was twin flame, so that was an affirmation. But also, when I first met him, guys, in the yoga class, I didn't recognize him as my twin flame. I just felt drawn to him. I was looking at him, but I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But I was so focused on my own mission. You see the paradox of the universe? It's like when you are focused to serve others, that's when your twin flame comes to join you. And so I feel like I was not looking, I was not interested, but there he was. And then it took me quite a few months to get to know him, to all of a sudden feel, oh, okay, well, there's this attraction there. Maybe there's this something. And I've shared this story before. He broke down all the layers that I had for myself. I was so programmed in the 3D, right? That he has to be older than me. He has to be established. He has to have more wealth than me, because if I want a baby, he's got to have the foundation. So very programmed, very 3D back then. But as I was working on myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm a strong woman. I'm a queen, priestess now. So whoever comes into my life, he has to be able to hold space for that. Very different. Before, it's like the damsel in distress, someone saved me. Now I'm like, nope, he's got to be able to hold that space for me. So it's from all those breaking through those layers and from that vision, that communication, that I started to become more open towards his frequency. He was way younger than me. He was 7 years younger than me. He just finished university and I was working already. So those communication really helped me break down my limiting beliefs of the structure, the matrix that I put myself into. And so, yeah, I don't know if you guys have that type of communication where you get a little hint from your higher self. It's like, girl, you were looking the wrong way. So, yeah, and now we together, we have a baby. And I just realized a few years ago, yeah, he had that same silhouette. He's a construction worker and he has dark hair, he's Latino. So it made sense that vision really come true. But of course, my higher self couldn't show me his face, right? And too much detail. So there are little things that they show us in dreams. Another example, this is our real story, guys. I'm not making this up. I can pull the person in and tell you this actually happened. One of my friends, she came to me in Reiki, and I was treating her that time. And unbeknownst to me, she was pregnant, but I didn't know that. She didn't tell me. She was still in this early stage. And after the session, I think 1 or 2 days later, I had a dream. She was in my dream and she opened her apartment and she's showing me she's growing blueberries. And in the apartment, I saw in the bunk beds with like boys, like young boys. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. And it was so vivid. So I messaged her and I'm like, girl, we talk very funny with each other, that friend. We like to be silly and laugh. And I was like, you were in my dream and you were showing me you were growing blueberries. And I saw a young boy, like, that's very interesting. Does it resonate with you? And she's like, girl, I'm pregnant with a boy. And so if those of you that have been pregnant before, you track your embryo in like the size of fruit. So I feel the blueberry was about the embryo and the boy was her trying to tell me she has a boy. She has a son coming into her life. So we were just like mind blown about that experience. And so interesting how we talk to each other in the higher realm, but maybe not so much in the physical realm, right? And the other experience, and maybe you guys can share too, I'd love to hear from you guys, is those that have experience with children coming into your life. Our daughter, before she even came, or before I even know I was pregnant, she already came to both of us and told us she was coming. Like, she came to my partner, and my partner liked to sleep talk, and one night he was crying in his dream. I'm like, "Oh, are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, I just have this amazing dream. I saw a daughter, and the amount of love I have for her, that's why I was crying." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that's really cool." And the next day I had a dream too, and I dreamed about this little girl, in my kitchen, and I'm feeding her, and I'm like, "Okay, that's interesting." I didn't think too much about it. But then a few days later is when I found out I was pregnant. So I'm like, oh, so we do choose our parents when we come down to this physical realm. So I just share some of these real stories with you guys to, let you know, hey, if this happened in your life, it happens to all of us. We all have these experiences. And when I share these, sometimes people will share their stories with me, and I'm like, whoa, so cool. So please feel free to use your comment section below and let me know if you have any experiences like this where you have these non-physical, non-linear communication with other people. You'll be a spiritual teacher, your partner, your children, your pet. So these are all very wonderful ways of us just opening more towards a 4D, 5D way of communicating with each other. And I feel that's also why light language is becoming so um, widespread, because now we are accessing that level of our consciousness where, we don't always just need to communicate with a set language. We can communicate through our soul song, our light language. And some of my students, when they work with light language, they have hand movements. And some of them draw it out like an artist into a symbol. So different people communicate differently. And in one movies that I watched long ago, I think it's called The Arrival. And in The Arrival, they have these aliens, and the aliens communicate by drawing a circle. And what I like about that movie is they open up the collective consciousness to feel there's more ways to communicate. It's this multi-layer, multi-dimensional way of thinking. And I believe in Star Wars or Star Trek as well. Have you guys seen those episodes where they playing chess and their chess have like different layers? Like, it's not just one board, it's like a few boards that you can move up and down. That's the level of consciousness we're talking about here, is that multidimensional openness of your consciousness. And you start to see there's more than just this linear manner of communication. So I wanted to make this video today to spread the giggles, spread the good vibes, and just to, open the space for this conversation. So I haven't really been seeing a lot of people talk about this, at least not in my small field of awareness anyway. So let me know. Maybe even an ancestor coming to you in your dream time. I know that my past grandmother, she would visit me in dreams, and she would look younger. She would be radiating with so much bright light. And when I had some fear about giving birth to my daughter, she came to me and she smiled and she gives me the thumbs up. So she gave me the affirmation, everything is going to be okay. And I think that really helped me, and everything did turn out okay. The birth was fine. She was healthy. And so, I just feel like, oh, so beautiful, these interactions. And thank you guys for joining me and opening up the space collectively to talk about these experiences. And those of you that have YouTube channel or Instagram or will have your own channel, I think it's good for you to talk about your experiences too. So your tribe can find you, and your tribe can start to talk about these very important parts of who we are that mainstream education system don't even touch on. So let's take a moment to see the live stories that are being shared right now. Hmm. Wow, amazing. So some of you have talked to your twin flame in your meditation state. Yes, absolutely. Being open to the spiritual realm. Hmm. Oh. Don't give up, Sita. It's gonna I've been there, girl. I've been there. Come into a state where you I know it's easy for me to say, like in those moments when I'm in those state, like when I'm gonna find my twin flame. In those moments, you feel all hope is lost, but have faith that in your power, in your sovereignty, when you're in your natural state of being, that person is gonna come. So, for example, I always wanted to manifest a king in my life. I'm like, I need this person to have their life together. But once I started doing shadow work, I was like, I don't even have my life together. I was very immature in my early 20s. And so, through years and years of working on myself and spiritual realm, I got myself up to maybe here. And it was in this vibration that I match with my twin flame. Now, don't get me wrong, once we got together, we still had the first 2 years was crazy. You get that fire. And then the second year was fight, deep, fight, nasty, fight. Bringing all the shadows, all the programming to heal. But we made it past that and everything has been pretty good now. So yeah, even after you meet your twin flame, it's gonna have things that come up for you. But don't give up, guys. Have faith that if you have the desire for something to come into your life, it will come. You're meant to have it, but it might not be in the way that you put yourself in a box to get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't give up. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Naz. Good to see you. Yeah, the babies of today are very bright. They're so conscious, so aware. Mm. Yeah, and that's true. A lot of you guys are sharing, like, even if your twin flame come together, it can be, not work out. And sometimes it does happen where you can't control what the other persons do. But I feel in my heart that if it's a twin flame, if it's a soulmate, if it's a soulmate that activate the twin flame frequency, when we feel full in ourselves, when you have found your own twin flame within yourself, when you feel so grounded in yourself, it will come. Like it will manifest within your surrounding. And so I have empathy for you guys. I feel you. I've been through those heartbreaks more times than I like to admit. But I always like to have hope. I always like to have faith that if this relationship doesn't work, the next one is going to be even better. And looking back, I feel like every relationship, every boyfriend that I've had brought me closer to my current relationship. And they were each learning experience and each experience that brought me to where I am now. So have faith, have hope, and like I always say in the other video, commit to yourself. I remember I brought myself a wedding ring. I'm like, you know what? Instead of being so desperate looking for other people to give me the commitment, I'm going to commit to myself. I'm going to marry myself and treat myself right, take myself on dates. And that really helped me. And it really helped one of my friends too. She's like, yeah, I feel, I need to commit to myself first. So, little tip that might help you guys. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, even if you're joining the replay, these more ascended way of communication, your stories, because I'm sure when other people read it, they may resonate with you. And thank you so much for sharing your light and being here to experience this collective energy at the same time. And yeah, I wanted to just bring forth a little message as well. Next time we can talk about maybe fairies, since we're talking about non-physical energies a lot in this channel. I want to share more real stories about encounters with fairies and stories from my ancestral lineage about ancestors coming through with messages. I think those are interesting to talk about sometimes, right? Different variations of video. Sometimes we do the work, sometimes we share love, sometimes we chat, we communicate with each other. Let's see. Is it bad not to be a mother in this life? I don't think so. I feel every soul has your own experience. And to be honest, like even with me, I wasn't too attached to becoming a mother. I was like, I feel like I have a lot of children already. My plants are my children, my pets were my children. And I even feel sometimes like other people in my life, in a way, they are my children too. We all take care of each other. So to me, I feel very full that way. And I'm very blessed to be a mother physically, but I didn't have too much attachment to that. So if you don't feel like you need to be a parent in this life, that's okay. It's your soul's journey. And sometimes, oh, thanks for bringing up that point to you guys. So sometimes non-physical communication feels makes you feel more closer to the person. Have you felt that way before? Like with my grandmother, I knew when she was alive, I feel connected to her, but it was when she passed away and she started communicating with me through mediumship, and it was in the early of my journey that I feel much more closer to her for some reason. And as though she's not here physically, but she is here when I need to communicate with her, when she wants to come and say hi to me. And so sometimes, if we're not with our twin flame physically, you can feel that yearning in your body, but know that on your higher self level, you're doing a lot of work together. And maybe, the next person that come into your life is going to match that frequency. So I'm a little different. I like to think of twin flame energy like it's like a flame that you activate. I myself feel like a soulmate can become a twin flame too. Like with my twin flame, in some of our past life, we weren't together. Or in some of our past life, we didn't have a good relationship. And so I feel that, in those moments when you don't have it the way we want, it's difficult, but there's always a higher perspective that we can at least find peace with the experience. So I hope that helps. Oh yeah, and Kuan Yin's energy is very strong lately. I don't know if you guys have connected with Kuan Yin. She's so strong. Fairies as well, mermaids energy very strong. Does ancestors necessarily mean that it has to be your bloodline? Not necessarily. Some ancestors, when I work with people, can be from another lifetime as well. So that's like multidimensional, multidimensional. And some of your ancestor can also be non-human. So so yeah, really when you open up to this realm, anything could go. So it's important to stay grounded, because if not, you're gonna be really confused sometimes. Love, dragon, fairy, mermaid energy, whales. Yeah, whales and dolphins energy are very, very beautiful at this time. They're coming up very strongly. Let's see if I missed any questions. So I think I will close the live now so we don't go over too long. But let's laugh together for the last few seconds. Join me, light workers, star seeds, however you express yourself. Come into the heart with me. Feel this vibration of joy, love, happiness. I invite the guardians of light, whales, dolphins, the flower fairies, the baby dragons to join us and all laugh and be happy. May we bring a smile onto your beautiful face and your beautiful heart. And if you're feeling a little down, we're going to tickle your heart chakra. We're going to make you laugh. And just allow this beautiful, joyous energy to surround you as though all these laughters, these baby dragons, these fairies and dolphins, they're all laughing and giving you a big warm hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi. So welcome back, everyone. So I hope that little tickle of the heart chakra made your day brighter. Maybe you'll bring a smile on your face. Spirituality don't always have to be serious. It can be a little silly sometimes. We can make fun of ourselves. We can make each other laugh. After all, we're just being authentic to who we are, right? So thank you for joining me in this joyous session today and hope to see you guys soon. It would depend on the boss, my baby Liana. When she let me come on, I can come on. Know that you can find us here and giggle with us anytime. So much love, light workers. I'll see you next time. Go and shine your lights. Share your sparkles. Share your rainbow lights. So I'm gonna close the live now.